Good day everyone. Let's talk about the topic in chapter 10, which is the nanoworld. So what is nanoworld? What does the word nano means? And why do we need to learn about the nanoworld? Before we are going to answer that questions, let's read first the lesson objectives. At the end of this lesson, the students should be able to define nanotechnology, characterize nanoscale, describe the various uses of nanotechnology, discuss concerns on the use of nanotechnology, and explain the status of the use of nanotechnology in the Philippines. Now let's answer the question, what is nanoworld? The nanoworld provides both knowledge and instrument to control nature. It deals more with the world not seen by the naked eye. That means it is very important for us to learn about the nanoworld in order to gain knowledge and to know what are the instruments to control nature. And because it is a world not seen by the naked eye, we need an instrument like microscopes in order to see nanoparticles or anything that is in a nanoscale. Now, let's answer the questions, what does the word nano means? And why is it called the nanoworld? So why nano? The word nano is from the Greek word nanos, meaning dwarf. It is a prefix used to describe 1/1,000,000th of something. Hence, nano expresses a very tiny amount or size. That is why it deals with a world not seen by the naked eye. Next, this is the table to show you how small is the nanoscale. So, in the first column, you have the prefix nano, and then in the next column, you have the symbol is small letter n. And the next column, there's unit conversion factor in a standard form. 1 nanometer is equals to billionth of meters. And then next column, the factor is 10 to the power of -9, and next column, it is used to describe billionth. Next is nanoscience. Nanoscience is the study, manipulation, and engineering of matter, particles, and structures on the nanometer scale. It deals with materials that are very small using specialized microscopes and other nano devices. As what I've said a while ago, that it cannot be seen by our naked eye, they use specialized microscopes and other nano devices because nanoscience is the study to create something, manipulate something, or innovate something using the nanoparticles, nanomaterials, or anything in a nanometer scale. Next, what is nanotechnology? Nanotechnology is an advanced interdisciplinary field that encompasses science and technology that manufactures materials of great help to the improvement of various areas of society, especially healthcare, environment, energy, food, water, and agriculture. Nanotechnology is the science and technology of working with materials at the nanoscale to create unique properties and innovations. As what I've said a while ago, that they create and innovate, and it benefits society by improving healthcare, energy, water, food, agriculture, and the environment. Examples include targeted drug delivery, efficient solar cells, and advanced water filtration that will be discussed later on. Now let's answer the question, how small is a nanoscale? A nanometer is a billionth of a meter, or 10 to the power of -9 of the meter, like what the table showed a while ago. Let me show you another illustration that shows how small nanoscale is compared to other particles or materials. The first illustration shows pictures of DNA, bacterium, and large raindrop. As you can see, the DNA measures 2.5 nanometers diameter, and 1,000 times bigger than the DNA is the bacterium that sizes 2.5 micrometers long. And another 1,000 times bigger than the bacterium is the large raindrop that sizes 2.5 millimeters diameter. The DNA and the bacteria cannot be seen by the naked eye. However, the large raindrop can be seen, but it is already small. Imagine how much smaller the bacterium and DNA are. The second illustration shows a single-walled carbon nanotube, strand of hair, and house. The single-walled carbon nanotube sizes 1 nanometer diameter, and 100,000 times bigger is the strand of hair that sizes 100 micrometers diameter, and another 100,000 times bigger is the house that sizes 10 meters wide. The third illustration shows a nanoparticle, ant, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The nanoparticle sizes 4 nanometers diameter, and 1,000,000 times bigger is the ant that sizes 4 millimeters long, and another 1,000,000 times bigger than the ant is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway that sizes 4 kilometers per lap. Another illustration clearly shows the size of the nanoparticles. The human hair, ant, and the tennis ball can be seen by the naked eye. However, the bacteria, viruses, DNA, molecules, and atoms cannot be seen by the naked eye, but they can be seen only when using microscopes. Next, the applications of nanotechnology in health. First is the targeted drug delivery. One example of a targeted drug is the Doxil. It is a nanotechnology-based drug approved in 1995. It is used to treat cancers of the lymph system, breast, stomachs, and others. It consists of these following nanoparticles such as liposomes, tiny spheres made of lipids that encapsulate the drug and target specific cancer cells. This is the picture of the Doxil drug. The second one is the microsurgery. Example of this are the nanobots or nanorobots. It performs surgery at the cellular level, repairing damaged tissues or removing cancer cells with precision. Some are programmed to detect specific disease markers, enabling early diagnosis and intervention. The picture shows how the nanobots or nanorobots work inside our body, and some can be taken like a pill. Next is the application of nanotechnology in food, water, shelter, and clothing. First is water purification systems. New technologies use nanomaterials and membranes with varying pore sizes. Example of these is the forward osmosis membrane technology by Hydration Technologies. The picture shows you how the FO or forward osmosis membrane system works. Second, the heat-resistant and self-cleaning surfaces. Nanoparticles create heat-resistant and self-cleaning surfaces like, for example, on the floors and on the countertops. Materials like silicon dioxide and titanium dioxide help surfaces repel water and resist stains. The first picture shows the titanium dioxide-coated window glass protected the room from the direct heat of the sunlight. It produces clean air inside the room. And then the second picture shows a material that is water-resistant. That is because of the use of nanoparticles. Third, detergent micelles. Detergent from micelles trap oils and fats, enhancing cleaning. The first picture shows soap molecule. The blue one is the hydrophilic or lipophobic head that is attracted to water. And then the tail, there is the hydrophobic or lipophilic tail that is attracted to fat. And then the second picture shows what the liposome, micelle, and bilayer sheet looks like. Fourth, zeolites as molecular sieves. Zeolites made of silicon and aluminum oxides have unique cage-like structures that act as molecular sieves. It strains any molecule and separates any nanoparticles. The picture shows different zeolites. Next, the application of nanotechnology in agriculture. First, crop improvement. Nanotechnology helps breed crops with higher micronutrient levels. It aids in pest protection and enhances food processing methods. Pesticides and fertilizers has nanoparticles that effectively improve crops. Second, contamination control. Ultra-small probes developed for monitoring soil, air, and water quality, and that is also by the use of nanoparticles. Third, arsenic removal. TiO2 or the titanium dioxide nanoparticles provide an effective, low-cost solution for removing arsenic from soil and water. Next, the application of nanotechnology in the environment. First, radiation detection. A nanotechnology detector from Washington improved the speed and accuracy of radiation leak detection at Fukushima, Japan. The nanotechnology detector provides efficiency and improvement for detecting radiation. Second, reducing environmental contaminants. Nanoscale metal particles like FeO or iron oxide and FeNi or iron and nickel alloy can effectively reduce harmful chlorinated compounds in the environment. Third, cleaner production. Biotechnology promotes cleaner manufacturing processes and creates renewable energy sources, improving factory sustainability by the use of the nanoparticles and nanotechnology. Fourth, energy efficiency. Use of graphene as a coating material allows for a single layer application, reducing the need for multiple coatings. The graphene is the nanoparticle that improves energy capacity of the batteries. Fifth, enhanced chemical reactions. Nanoscale chemical reagents and catalysts accelerate chemical reactions, leading to reduced consumption of raw materials. For example, imagine you're baking a cake. You need a specific amount of flour, sugar, and eggs to make the perfect cake. Now let's say you have a special ingredient, a nanoscale catalyst that helps the flour, sugar, and eggs combine faster and more efficiently. This catalyst at the nanoscale has a huge surface area compared to its size. This means it can interact with the ingredients much more effectively, speeding up the chemical reactions that happened during the baking. As a result, you need less flour, less sugar, and eggs to make the same delicious cake. Next, the benefits and concerns of using nanotechnology. According to DARIT 2005, nanotechnology is not a single technology. It may become pervasive, which means it can spread or influence widely to a group of people or area. Nanotechnology seeks to develop new materials with specific properties. Nanotechnology may introduce new efficiencies and paradigms which may make some natural resources and current practices uncompetitive or obsolete. It may be complicated to detect its presence unless one has the specialist tools of nanotechnology, which is the microscopes. Next is the table showing the benefits and concerns of the application of nanotechnology in different areas. First area is the environment. The possible benefits are improved detection and removal of contaminants and development of benign industrial processes and materials. Concerns: high reactivity and toxicity, pervasive distribution in the environment, and no nano-specific Environmental Protection Agency or EPA regulation. Next area is the health. Possible benefit: improved medicine. Concerns: ability to cross cell membranes and translocate in the body, and no Food and Drug Administration or FDA approval needed for cosmetics and supplements. Next area is the economy. Possible benefits: better products and new jobs. Concerns: redistribution of wealth, potential cost of cleanups and healthcare, and accessibility to all income levels.
Challenges of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology, with its ability to manipulate matter at the atomic and molecular level, holds immense promise for revolutionizing various industries. So I have some example like auto traffic, medicine, energy generation, laundry, mining, and combustion. So next, ethical dilemmas of nanotechnology. So potential hazard. Nanoparticles may pose risk to human health and the environment. So I have some example of human health inhalation. So inhalation is kanang makalanghap ka o ganang mga nanoparticles nga simot ka nga dali ra kay musud sa imong part, which is masud sa ato ang lungs nga maay maka-cause og sakit. So next is ganang environmental risk. So example ani soil contamination. So they may alter soil chemistry, affect microbial communities, and also plant health. So next is balancing benefits and risk. So we should not ignore the advantages of nanotechnology, but we must carefully consider the potential dangers. So ang nanotechnology offers significant benefits such as advancement in medicine. So medicine, electronics, and environmental solutions. So however, it is important pud kayo nga ganang ato ang i-balance ang their advantages with a careful assessment of potential risk, human health, at the environment, right? Diba? Di man sa juken nato i-balance ang mga benefits. Next is need for further research. More studies are necessary to understand the issues related to nanotechnology. So yes, it is very important to study more and to understand the issues related about the nanotechnology, right? Because there are many nga mas atua pa yung masabtan about anang nanotechnology. So next is modification of materials. So adjusting materials like graphene can reduce environmental risk, and research shows that certain microorganisms can help break down graphene, make it less toxic. So by modifying materials graphene can help to reduce our environmental health. Yes. Then research shows that certain microorganisms nga makatabang jud sa ato sa pag-iban sa mga toxic. Then next is important of knowledge. Experts and government must educate themselves about nanomaterials to fully harness their benefits to society or for society. So mga expert and governments kailangan jud or need nga studyhan ang about anang nanomaterials, right? Kay ganang mag-study about nanomaterials, there are too many fully harness their benefits for our society, di ba? Ug daghan tag mga may baon about anang nanomaterials, so mas maka-benefit jud for our society. Then next is how to view nanomaterials. So electron microscope. So electron microscope, German engineers Ernst Ruska and Max Knoll built the first electron microscope during the 1930s. This type of microscope utilizes a particles beam of electron to light up a specimen and develop well-magnified image. So electron microscope produced higher and better resolution than older light microscope because they can magnify objects up to a million times, while conventional light microscope can magnify objects up to 1,500 times only. So ang kaning electron microscope, which is ang atua ng human eye nga ato ang makita, which is ang child, ang hand, fingerprint, and microprocessor nga makita sa atua human eye, mga human eye nga makita mao na sila. Then next is ang makita sa light microscope, which is ang stand of hair. So makita dya po nato sa human eye, but dili ingon nga dako ang atong pagkita na, gamay atong makita na. So what's munang makuha na siya sa light microscope. So next ang kaning electron microscope. So ang kaning electron microscope is mauna ni siya nga ganang magamit aning electron microscope nga nabilong sa nanomaterials or kaning mga nanoparticles. Mao ni siya nga kaning ang mga makita sa electron microscope is ang bacteria, virus, DNA, atom, and transistors. Mao ni siya ang mga makita sa electron microscope. Then ang kani sila is mao ni sila ang mga nabilong sa nanomaterials, mga nanoparticles ang kani mao ni siya. There are two general types of electron microscope, which is first is scanning electron microscope. So a type of electron microscopy that uses a focused beam of electrons can scan a surface of a specimen and generate images at a much greater resolution compared to optical microscopy. The resolution of same instruments can range from 1 nanometer up to several nanometers. So ang kaning scanning electron, we can see the images and also makita po nato ang mga nanoparticles about ani kay scan man siya. Then scanning focuses on analyzing the surface of materials. So ang kani po ang scanning is ganang naka-advantage po aning scanning is ganang kuan po siya ang naka-advantage sa scanning electron kay this instrument works fast. Mao ni siyang mo say nakakuan sa scanning. So I have some example pud ani sa scanning electron microscope. So ang kayong scanning is klaro pud kayo ni siya ining scan duol ra kayo iyang pictures, iyang image. So next is transmission electron microscope, a technique of imaging the internal structure of solids using a beam of high energy and electrons transmitted through the solid. This arrangement can be compared to the basic optical microscope with transmission illumination. So ang kaning transmission electron microscope is allow for a more in-depth examination of their internal structure like bacteria or virus. So ang nakalahian sa transmission electron microscope kay ang kani siya is deep nga laom na jud kay siya nga makita nato nga, which is ang mga nanoparticles is makita na jud sa ilawom ug magamit sa transmission electron microscope. Kay ang kani ganang ang nakalahian sa transmission electron is ganang laom na kay siya makita, which is compare sa scanning is imong siyang scan and makita ra nimo ang mga images and mga particles, which is ang kani siya is more in deep ang makita sa transmission. So next is atomic force microscope. Atomic force microscope, it was first developed by Gerd Bindi Gulbenkian and Christoph Gerber in 1986. It makes use of mechanical probe that gathers information from the surface of a material. So atomic force microscope is a instrument used to image surface at the atomic level. So next is scanning tunneling microscope. This special type of microscope enables scientists to view and manipulate nanoscale particles, atoms, and small molecules. In 1986, Gerd Bindi and Heinrich Rohrer won the Nobel Prize in Physics because of this invention. So, scanning tunneling microscope, makita po din nato ang mga nanoparticles ani and atoms, small molecules, which is ganang maura ni sila sa scanning electron microscope, ang scanning tunneling microscope. So next is possible applications of nanotechnology in the Philippines. So first is ang ICT. So ICT and semiconductors, health and medicines, energy, food and agriculture, and environment. So first is ICT. So ICT is to enhance makuha ni siya enhance electrons, so which is ang nanomaterials can lead to faster, more efficient, and smaller microchips and other components used to computer, smartphones, and other devices. Also maka-boast po ni sa Philippines ang ICT and industry. So next is health and medicine. So health and medicine is ang target drug delivery. So nanomaterials can use to deliver drugs directly to specific cell of tissues, reducing side effects and improving treatment efficiency. So energy. So ang energy is storage. Energy storage. Nanomaterials can be used to develop high capacity and long lasting batteries for electronic vehicles. And last is food agriculture. So food agriculture is food for the food safety. Nanotechnology can be used to develop sensors for directing food contaminants and ensuring food security. So next is nanotech roadmap for the Philippines. So first is ICT and semiconductors. So ICT is focus siya sa development of advanced microchips, sensors, and display using nanomaterials. Also maka-benefits po ta ani kay by boosting the Philippine sectors, and then maka-create po ta og new jobs. So next is health biomedical. So health biomedical is ganang ato ang mga ma-benefits ani is ganang is improving healthcare, promoting personalized medicine. So next is energy, environment, agriculture, and food, health and environmental rescue. Ang uban ani is kabalik-balik naman is na-explain na sa nako ang uban ani. And then next is nanotechnology in the Philippines. So electronics, ang going project focused on ICT and semiconductor. So mao naman also focus naman ni sila ni sa ICT and semiconductors nga anang ongoing mga projects or mga plano. So there are also a push fabricate nano devices to support the local ICT industry. So next is agriculture. So agriculture is nanotechnology is being used in precision agriculture through chemical and biosensors. So ganang overall ani kay ang kaning nanotechnology overall. So ang overall ani is ang nanotechnology is dako kayo siya ganang potential nga mausab ang agriculture sector by increasing food production. Yes, by increasing food production and pag-grow. So next is food processing. Promising initiative includes edible coating for agricultural product and food exports, regulated atmosphere storage for prepared foods, biodegradable food packaging that is stronger and has better priorities. Other priorities include setting standard for food, beverage, manufacture, critical self-healing packaging, and controlled release formulation. So overall, nanotechnology holds significant potential to revolutionize the agricultural sector, leading in increased food production, reduced environmental impact, and also provide sustainability. So next is energy. So energy collaborative research among the De Manila University and De La Salle University is focused in developing solar energy devices using nanostructure. This includes both solid state and dye-sensitive solar cells. So energy. So ang kaning nanotechnology gi-studyhan jud ni sa Philippines to boost its solar energy capabilities. One of collaborative research is ang De Manila University and De La Salle University, which is nag-focus sila to develop solar energy devices using nanostructure. So next is medicine. So nanotechnology is poised to revolutionize medicine with advancement in early detection, diagnostics, and treatment of disease. Further research next 3 to 10 years aims to develop diagnostic and imaging protocols for diseases like tuberculosis, malaria, and cancer using nanostructure and lab-on-a-chip technology. And then explore natural nanostructures from local flora and fauna for new drug properties and biomarkers. Then efforts are also directed towards creating portable diagnostic kits for diseases like STDs, leprosy, and other infection. Last, there is focused on developing cost-effective drug delivery system line with a cheaper medicine bill. So overall, the Philippines is the cost of a medical revolution fueled by nanotechnology, which is the focusing on developing innovative diagnostic tools and treatment for disease like tuberculosis, malaria, and cancer. So further, more efforts are underway to create portable diagnostic kits for disease like SDS, leprosy, and other infections. And then next is environment. Scientists are developing nanofilters for effective water purification and environmental remediation. Nanoparticles are being researched to remove pollutants and toxins from soil and water. So environment. So scientists are developing nanofilters that can effectively purify water, also removing contaminants like heavy metals and bacteria. Yeah, so next is products of nanotechnology in the Philippines. So agriculture. So nanosilica based fertilizer enhance germination and growth of tomatoes. So kaning siya is tungod sa fertilizer is ni-enhance pa jud iyang pagtubo or paggrow sa tomatoes. And then coating technology extends of shelf life of premium fruits like mangosteen and papaya. So kani siya is iyahang gipa extend ang life sa mga premium fruits like mangga or papaya, like mo na siyang fruitic coating. Next is aquaculture. So biosensor kit developed in collaboration with various institutions to detect disease in shrimp notified by white spot syndrome. It is cost efficient and user friendly for farmers. So ang kaning aquaculture or kani siya is the purpose ani is to detect disease in shrimp, particularly white spot syndrome. And ang naka-advantage ani nga kit is it is inexpensive and easy to use, which helps farmer to diagnose their shrimps and prevent the spread of disease. Yeah, so next is water treatment. Portable ceramic water filter. So a gravity-based water filter that uses red clay with a silver coating to purify tap or deep well water. So mao ni siya ang ganang portable ceramic water filter nga gigamit pang limpyo. So pang limpyo sa tubig gikan sa gripo. Yes, gikan sa gripo or sa tabay. Like tabay, mao sa usa po na siya nga ganang pang limpyo. Mao ni siya ang portable ceramic water and filter. So that's all. Thank you.